All right, every single time you boot up your PC, there's actually this silent war for your hardware happening right in the background. So in today's explainer, we're putting Windows and Linux head to head in a bloatware study. We really want to dive into the data and find out the true cost of all that built inconvenience.
You know the feeling, right? You just dropped some serious hard-earned cash on a brand new PC. It should literally be lightning fast out of the box. So, why is it that your desktop is already completely cluttered with, trial antivirus software, random weather widgets you definitely didn't ask for, and games you're absolutely never going to play?
Well, let's look at the cold, hard data, because it's honestly kind of shocking. On a fresh machine, completely identical hardware, absolutely zero apps open, Windows 11 idles at roughly 3.5 gigabytes of RAM. Compare that to a standard Linux distribution, like Ubuntu. That sits comfortably at under 1 gigabyte. I mean, think about it. If you're running a system with just 8 gigs of RAM, Windows is basically hijacking nearly half your memory before you even click on a web browser. And let's be real, Chrome is definitely going to want that RAM too.
So, where exactly is all that hardware performance disappearing to? Background tasks. A totally vanilla Windows setup is silently churning through literally hundreds of services. We're talking forced updates, telemetry trackers that constantly monitor your behavior, and digital assistants just sitting there running. Linux, on the other hand, it runs exactly what you tell it to run. Period. Nothing more.
And the bloat doesn't just attack your memory, it completely hogs your permanent storage too. A basic, out-of-the-box Windows installation completely swallows over 30 gigabytes of your SSD space right out of the gate. That's a massive chunk of your drive, just gone. But switch over to a lightweight Linux architecture, that permanent footprint shrinks down to just 5 to 8 gigabytes. That is less than a third of the storage space. It actually leaves your SSD free for, your own files, games, and media, the stuff you actually want to store. Now, you might be wondering why the extra bloat in the first place. Well, it's a business model. Microsoft pre-installs all this partner software to subsidize licensing fees for hardware manufacturers. So yeah, it might save you a few bucks at the cash register up front, but honestly, you're basically paying for it with a lifelong performance tax on your system. Ultimately, operating systems are all about compromises. Windows bundles these massive feature sets, legacy support, and universal drivers to give you that seamless, out-of-the-box convenience. Linux, though, gives you incredible hardware efficiency and complete privacy. But we have to admit that minimalism does come with a bit of a learning curve. So it really all comes down to your daily workflow. Are you willing to sacrifice that peak hardware performance, those precious gigabytes of memory and storage space, all for plug-and-play convenience? Or do you demand total control over your system's resources? Take a moment to reflect on what your time and your hardware are really worth. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next explainer.